Hello.
Hello and
Mwah.
welcome. Welcome to Knitting Around LA. We're Julie and Judy. And
Yes, we're Julie and Judy too.
That's right. And today we have some very special guests. We have Amy and Samantha from StitchSpaceLA. And they're going to chat with us. And we have something special too, folks. Because we're live on StreamYard here, we can have comments. So if you're out in the audience and you've got something that you'd like to ask Amy or Samantha, type it in and we'll get to it. We'd love to see what you want to ask and are thinking about. So
can we have Samantha and Amy identify themselves?
I'm Samantha. Hello.
Yes.
I'm Amy. Hi.
Welcome, ladies. And we want to say that StitchSpaceLA is a new sewing and fiber art studio where people of all ages can come and explore sewing and so much more. Now, can you introduce yourselves? I mean, more than just Amy and Samantha. Tell us a little bit about perhaps how you met and
how did we meet? We met. We were supposed to meet. I am Samantha, and I am a fiber artist and a costume maker, costume designer. And that's what I was doing before the shop happened. And Amy, and then we'll combine our joint.
I'm Amy. I've been sewing for 45 years and suddenly realized I could actually make a living doing it.
Yeah. That's neat, though. How did you meet? What brought you together?
We were working somewhere.
Yeah, we were employed at the same space at a point in time, and
I realized that I wanted another job other than just making costumes for film, and I wanted it to be more interactive. I missed children. I really loved children, and so I Googled children and sewing, and there was one place that was teaching it. So I said, hey, if you need new teachers, I'll be a teacher. And that's where I met Amy. And she was running the show, and she can pull projects out of her butt. And I was just like, this woman is amazing. And she has all the things that I don't have. Her go with the flow ability to just be like, oh, you want to do this thing? We're going to do it right now. I like to have some pre-planned stuff. It makes me more comfortable, but I'm getting much, much better at winging it.
And I'm getting better at planning it. I'm at least cognizant of the fact that I need to do that. So yeah, no, it just working together really showed that we were able to work together. And that she's my yin to my yang.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that you guys are like a yin and yang. And
yeah,
complementary talents and skills.
Yeah, truly. Like where I lack, Samantha picks up without fail. So it's.
I feel the same way.
It really just works.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So.
And we realized that we just wanted to do what we were doing in our own way all the time.
Yeah, and have control.
Yeah.
We wanted to have control, and there were things that we just knew we could do it better.
And also we knew that we wanted a space that was more than just lessons. We wanted it to encompass these other things.
Exactly.
Like a gallery, and things that encourage community events, things that can contribute to the community, like we were doing last year, where we could have lots of people in a gathering. That was fun.
And yeah, the other elements to the space is what we were looking forward to doing also, not just lessons and not just sewing.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what brought us together, but that we wanted to have an opportunity to add the other fiber arts elements, because, you know, being creative with fiber arts is not just sewing or just knitting or just crocheting. It's lots of
The
other
integration.
things. Yeah, the integration of all of it, and give everybody a space to come together, because, you know, like this is phenomenal. The latch hook, you know what I mean? And we hadn't been able to have or work in a spot where all of those things were integrated together. So,
and that being said, there are, like, from a business standpoint, it's trending to be crafty. Like the handmade movement is in a really good place right now.
exactly.
And we like to think, like, there's not really anywhere that does exactly what we do, because we do so many things, and that was the goal. But, you know, we want to encourage people to be doing things with their hands. And so that was our main goal. We wanted to be humans who make things.
Yep.
Which is our hashtag.
Yep.
We like.
Hashtag humans who make things.
Yes.
No, but thank you. I mean, all of that being said, because we have this space, it allowed us to go out and meet the two of you and have that be that's truly been a wonderful part of what we're doing, is that we get to network and meet and become involved with other makers and creators, especially the two of you, because you've both been very supportive and kind to us. So.
And learn new things from you guys.
Exactly.
For the people out there, Julie Kornblum was our very first featured artist.
Yes, she was.
And it was, I mean, having that display of color, and it just like was the perfect first thing, because people would be immediately drawn in and they could see the gallery.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, this is our knitting teacher, Julie Kornblum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So it's allowed us to meet wonderful people like you.
Well, we thank you, because we have enjoyed so much going over and being with you guys. I know Julie has taught some classes there.
Yep.
And
there it is.
And here we are.
There should be a better photo of it where we just get to see you, but is this right after we hung it up? Maybe.
Here, I'll check on ours. They can't see it until I share.
Oh, that's Judy and me.
Yep.
Sam.
Yeah.
Well, those are Holly's baskets. I don't know when that was, but I'll look for it.
It is. The photos are not chronological.
Right.
But having Julie as our first feature artist truly made a huge impact in the studio, and was a wonderful experience for us and the students and clients that came in. It was very encouraging.
Thank you.
And then we had, oh my goodness, I could have sold Judy's quilts over, I don't know, 6 times over. If there wasn't one person that asked about Judy's quilts and if they were for sale and how gorgeous they were, there were 70 people that asked about it. Not one person came in that didn't mention the quilts. So,
well, actually, in my life, I'm going to be getting back to doing some quilt making, because during this COVID period, my daughter just recently helped me do a deep dive in cleaning up my fabric, and I have so much fabric. I have to make some quilts.
Good. And hopefully you'll have the time to come and share with us, because that's one of our goals, is to offer a quilting class. I mean, because of course I can sew and I can follow a pattern and a quilting pattern, but I don't do it enough personally to know all the types and tricks. So we're really excited about having you in the studio to do that with our clients.
As soon as for myself, I have to be exceptionally COVID safe. So when that can happen, I'll be more than happy to get in there and do some quilting with you.
That's wonderful. We really would appreciate that, because I know I actually have a bunch of scraps ready to be turned into a quilt.
Oh God, there's so many techniques. We could just write them down, pull one out of a hat, and off we'll go.
Right.
So,
good. Because we do have and have had quite a bit of interest in that. So
I can do it.
That's one more thing to look forward to after COVID.
Oh, after COVID.
is Judy coming to the studio and us making quilts.
Yes, because that's the thing. It's like once you dive into fiber arts, you start being sucked further and further into the things you can do with fiber arts. And just like I've wanted to try needle felting for a very long time, and I've been shopping and I found some needle felting things. So I really want to get into that and have, you know, there's just element upon element that you can explore.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
One of the things was that we take our scraps, because we accumulate a lot of scraps, and we turn them into things. We try to make upcycling a huge part of what we do.
So we upcycle a lot of fabrics to do our beginner sewing project, which is this pillow, this pillow strips. We also use larger scraps for backs of pillows. Oh, and I'm sitting on one because I'm short. Okay.
Well, see, you're doing quilting right there with applique.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
This is the kind I like to do, the kind where I just put pieces together and I see what shapes they make.
Yeah. So there's that, and then then we do the applique. Ooh, I see. I can't back out of the driveway either.
There's like, we've got our different stitches around our letters is what we're trying to show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are a couple of the ways we use scraps, because we're really trying, while we are a fiber space, environmentally, we want to be responsible. And if we can use as much of the scraps to create with, we can. So Samantha,
I've started like taking more scraps and crocheting things. I'm turning this into cat beds and baskets.
Oh.
Yes. So, and it's just like the satisfaction of the thickness of this.
It is. It's really thick.
Really
her rug,
juicy.
She did a rug,
yeah,
and then she took it home. She didn't leave it in the studio.
Sorry, but I'm gonna make one for the bathroom because we need a new bathroom rug, and we could use a rag rug.
And upcoming, we have our fabric pom-poms. So we're going to be making fabric pom-poms for, decoration, pins, ornaments. That's another way that we're using itty bitty, teeny tiny,
going through our scraps and making them
amount of scraps possible.
Yeah.
Question.
Wow.
On the fabric pom-poms, do you make them the same way as the yarn pom-poms by wrapping around the thing?
That's what I'm going to sit here and do. I'm going to make this one so you can see it right here.
Cool.
See, you just wrap it around.
It's a little more difficult to hold the pieces together sometimes because you can use different lengths, and the shorter ones are obviously harder to hold on. You got to like layer them with the longer ones, but yeah, it's the same dealio.
That's brilliant. I've never seen anybody.
It is brilliant.
And then that way it's less product clogging up our environment and more product beautifying our spaces and our lives.
Genius idea, because everywhere and everyone has seen yarn pom-poms.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Those are fabulous.
And depending on what you use, you get different results.
Yep.
And like we did one earlier that was with crushed velvet, like a velour scrap. It like
twirled up. Yeah,
like
it's really cute.
It's really cool.
I'm making a black and white one because I love black and white. And this one's my camo because I'm addicted to camo.
She is. Yeah. So even though we cannot have sip and stitches at this particular time because of the sipping and the like gathering in big groups, we're just doing it in the style of our classes right now, 4-person at a time. And we're still having these specialty classes pretty much every week on Thursday nights, 7 to 9. But it's the kind of thing that like you should sign up in advance for because we only have 4 spots because of the limited, there we go. But so we're trying to do those things because I started to get into like the things that I wanted the space to be, but like the sip and stitches was like a really exciting thing, I think. And I think that because people are crafty and they want more things to do with their friends.
So we're offering a safe, as safe as possible COVID space. We only allow 4 people so that we can social distance. We cold fog. We do the cold fogging process to clean the studio Tools are wiped down after each individual's use, and everybody gets their own bucket of individual tools to use during class. Masks have to be worn the entire time. Temperatures are taken. Washing hands immediately, and often encouraged during class after you've even been here. So we're really trying to follow guidelines to help
people feel comfortable.
Yeah, because there's pandemic fatigue, and if we can offer a space where people are comfortable and safe, then that's what we want to do.
Yeah. But there's always adults wanting to do crafty things, and here we're trying to like give those people something to do that's fun and different, and that's a really exciting part of our space, I think. And
the sip and stitches were great.
Yeah, they were really going really well. Everything was ramping up, honestly, right before the pandemic. We had camps for the winter break, and they were full.
Enrollment was wonderful.
Kids were coming in, and it was really exciting, and it gives people a chance to get inspired by each other, because what we haven't really mentioned is that what also makes our space different than other places that do classes is that you can sign up for any of our machine classes and do your project during that time. You don't all come in and we make the same tote bag at the same time. So you come in, we help you on your journey individually, and you can fit it into your schedule, much like signing up for a gym class on the website. That's what we're going for. So we know you're coming, you get a confirmation email, and it can be whenever you can work it into your schedule. Right?
Yes. but then you are working on your project. So we might have someone who's a new sewist or someone who's crocheting at the same time. And oftentimes we'll have a beginner adult who is completely inspired by our younger students who are all of a sudden creating their outfit or their costume or something newer, and it's inspiring, because to see and feed off of each other's creativity is important.
Yeah. And something
excuse me,
on the upcycling thing also is I would love if you talk about slow fashion.
Slow fashion.
Yeah, I'd love if you talk about fast fashion.
Fast fashion versus slow fashion.
Yeah.
Needing it's a choice, and we all need to be very thoughtful in our purchases if we do ready to wear. And we need to start being thoughtful of what we already own. Does it just need mended? Can it be altered to fit more properly so that we're willing to wear it? Shopping our closets. We have a student who has a business that where you can rent nicer clothes, maybe more formal clothes, because of the environmental impact. Fashion industry and the fabric waste is the second largest polluter in the world today.
Wow.
And if we want to be responsible and leave a wonderful, beautiful place for those coming behind us, we need to really be thoughtful in those processes, which means making our own clothes, which include upcycling. Several of our garments and projects that we have done have been from donated larger pieces of fabric, bed sheets, curtains. Just being ready to think about fabric, materials, fibers in a different and future thinking way will help, each little thing. It's just I always think about this is that if everybody in the world refused to get a receipt when they pumped gas in one day, we would save this huge amount of the rainforest. And it's just your receipt from your gas pump,
which people crumple up and throw away.
Yeah, exactly. So if we can take that thinking or that idea into the fashion and fabric and fiber industry, and our reuse, upcycling, mending, altering, being thoughtful with our purchases with fabrics that are good for the environment or better for the environment. If we could alter our thinking and move forward in that direction, especially with handmade being such a trendy thing now.
Mhm.
We can make a dent. We can make a dent in what we're doing.
Well,
I
that's
never,
the world.
I never take a receipt from the gas station. In fact, I don't take receipts from most things because I have this wad of them in my purse after a few days.
Right.
Not that I go shopping that much. I don't. Maybe after a few weeks. After a few weeks, I have a lot of receipts in my purse.
And then you end up crocheting yourself a bigger purse, right?
Yeah.
Because you think you're running out of space. No, but
Ladies,
It's heavy. Then I need to crochet a smaller purse.
I think
ladies, I have a question about the upcycling.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anyone come into the studio with, let's say, something that they bought at a thrift store, right? That's, and then say, well, you know what? I got this, but I really want to change the sleeves. And what if can I make something like, take it apart? And so do they do that too?
I don't know that we've had specifically anybody from do thrift.
Chevy just did it.
Well, no. I mean, from a thrift store. We've had a lot of people come in. Oh, she bought that from
She
a
brought
thrift
this
store?
from a thrift store. It was an entire dress.
I thought it was in her closet.
And she took the skirt part and just took it off of the bodice. It's just like this cool, like weird.
It's fabulous.
Button shirt. Yeah. So
most of the time that happens, it's from their closet.
but that they bought at a thrift store sometimes and they don't know what to do with it. Because when you buy things at a thrift store, sometimes you think you're going to wear it and then you don't.
Yeah. So yes, that is a thing. And we do help people do that. More than happy to help people do that. It's a fabulous process.
Yeah.
And I also know that you had mentioned about people mending. That seems to be a whole nother trend, isn't there, about that slow stitch and taking let's say what might have been a tear in a jacket and then actually featuring it by stitching the way you would stitch, perhaps like embroider it or something.
Yep.
You don't have to be embarrassed about your holes anymore. You make them on purpose. I have a jean jacket, a jean skirt that I did that with for our Decorate Your Denim.
Yes, I missed that.
And that is stitching over holes and featuring them with a creative process rather than hiding them.
Now, do you guys do that as a class?
Yes.
We did a Decorate Your Denim class. We have done that in the past.
It's a sip and stitch, so it would be like a specialty class.
Specialty class. We've also had an alterations class, an upcycling alterations class. But the thing to remember is our classes are, you do not have to come in and sew a brand new project in any of our machine classes. You can use your time to do the altering, to do the mending in any of the machine classes or the hand embroidery classes. Or if at some point we could come up with something, the crochet classes, because I've seen some absolutely fabulous upcycling with crochet and denim jackets. That would be phenomenal.
Yeah. The thing is, with the machine class, it's like, as long as we can make sure, the first thing we'll do is make sure that you know how to use the machine, because that's what we really have to emphasize with people. It's like making sure that you know how to use your machine so that if it's your machine, if it's our machine, you don't damage it, and you can feel confident enough that you feel like you can sew enough to do those types of projects. Like, I just wanted to clarify that, rather than if you come in but you don't know how to sew and you want to like do this crazy thing, we're going to tell you first, let's learn the machine.
Yeah.
What if I came in, like I know how to sew and I know how to use a machine, but what if I wanted to be helped with using different weight threads, or how to, put something into the bobbin that might not be a regular weight thread, and how to learn to do the tension? Would you guys be able to teach me how to do that?
Yep.
We do that all the time.
Elastic thread, the transparent thread,
Fishing line.
it's like fishing line. So yes, of course.
Yeah. People come in with their machines and they're like, yeah, I kind of know how to use it, but I don't know what these stitches do, and I don't really know what to buy when I'm at the store.
Yeah.
So you can bring your own machine in?
Yeah. If you have it,
if you have it, please bring it.
We recommend it.
Then you're more apt to go home and use your skills.
Yeah.
If you're confident. Sometimes it's just, we get a lot of comments where people are like, I tried to watch a video and it didn't work, but you standing here actually talking to me helps.
That's good. That's what
You know
we
what
do.
I mean? If we can stand here and help you, so when you go home, you're like, oh, I can do it now. That's our goal.
Yeah, we don't want you to be too dependent on us. We want you to learn. So we want you to get your machine and use it and learn how to use it.
Wonderful.
And I have to say, because I've been there when I've been hanging out, when I could still be there and just hang out, knitting and crocheting, or even teaching a knitting class. And I've overheard you guys teaching, and I mean, I did teach for a while. I taught sewing for a while, and you guys are way better teachers. You're like good teachers. Just the way that you choose the words you choose to help people learn how to do all the different things on the machine. I love just hanging out there, and I hope that we can do that again one day too.
Yeah.
I know, we do too. We miss you guys so much because there's, socially, years, 100 years ago, quilting circles.
Oh, absolutely.
That was the town gossip. That's how we got together. That was our a way of communicating and socializing, and getting together and making quilts for weddings for people in the community, or new babies, and sewing circles and quilting bees. That was a social gathering, and that's what we love doing here. So when you guys are here and we're getting to do that here in this space, it just touches a part of our hearts that I don't think people realize they need until they get it.
Yes.
It's hard to have a business based on community, collaboration, and creativity in a time where gathering is not really possible, but we still want to make sure people know that was our intention, and to make sure that we look forward to the community aspect being able to be implemented more.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And we got a Julie piece up there right now, but I'm afraid to move the computer and change the setup we have right now.
Tons of comments about the new piece too, the crochet blanket.
The kids go up to it and sort of like turn their heads like this.
They love it. And if they can see that and be inspired by the colors, the techniques, that's what it's here for. That's what the art is for.
And then they ask, "Oh, what is this?" Like when we had Tina Marin and we had needle felted portraits of animals, they would be like, "What is this?" And I'd be like, "This is needle felting." And then we'd talk about what that is. Things that they don't come across in their day to day. Even adults don't necessarily know what all these processes are. Yeah. Oh, we're starting, and there's endless. There's I have some looms now. We want to do weaving.
Okay, well, this is a crochet pumpkin. Samantha did these, and we used them as a marketing tool for, there's Tina. Tina's needle felting gallery of fur babies was incredible. We gotta say hi to her soon.
Yeah.
This is Samantha's crocheted pumpkin, where she used actual crochet needles, and she made them, and we used them as a marketing tool when we first started, and went and set it out and said this was made at Stitch Space, so people got to know us, because who doesn't love a squishy pumpkin?
Yeah, we would go to coffee shops and say, "Hey, do you want to display this thing?"
So these are Samantha's.
There's plenty of seasons to do stuff like that in.
And this is Amy's. I used a tool. I used my knitting loom to make my squishy pumpkin.
Easy knit looms.
Yes, the easy knit loom. So then we got that ability to make, even though I can't crochet.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Samantha has tried to teach me.
Oh, Instagram. We should have done that the whole time. Our Instagram is so great with our pictures. Amy does such a good job. Yes.
Yes, there's Frank.
That's
and the pumpkins. And the knitting loom is here.
Yeah, next to it.
And we realized that we could make cauldrons. So I made a little cauldron with my knitting loom, and then Samantha used her t-shirt yarn to create another one.
Bigger,
but she's not in that.
It's okay. It just looks like the cauldron, but bigger.
T-shirt. This right here.
click on the short, the Amy and I picture, not with the bread.
Although you can click on the bread, and we can talk about that bread because that was to die for.
We've tried recently something, well, I guess not that new, but we started trying out patterns, different ones. We got one of those for free at Remainders, and one of them we bought on the internet.
Smith said she wanted shorts, and I went, I have the perfect pair because I see a lot of these Pietro shorts online. And then she went to Remainders and found a pattern that was very similar in style with the side pockets and the flat front panel.
It was skirt.
But it was a skirt. So I said, you make the shorts, I'll make the skirt. And so we compared the patterns. And oh my gosh, it was so much fun reading the directions and seeing how bad some directions are and how good other directions are for sewing, and how to help. It helped us be able to teach our students because we were actually participating and comparing in the language, the process, the
wording is always different.
Oh, yeah.
And that's crochet patterns too, knitting patterns too. You guys know that. It's just like people come and they'll be like, well, how do you know? Blah, blah, blah. And we're like, hey, we've tried a lot of things. Trying a lot of things, which leads me to one of my favorite points, which is like to play. It's all about playing and discovering new things. And mistakes are just an opportunity for creativity. That's what we'd like to say, because we find a lot of kids are really hard on themselves these days. And we really would like people to be more understanding of the fact that you don't have to be that way when you're learning something new, because it's not helpful, and you can't expect yourself to just know what to do.
It's not about the
end. The end product is about the
journey. It's all about the climb. Thank you, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. Well, and I'm always telling people, you know, when they're learning to knit and crochet, you're going to make mistakes. And if I've got them doing their first little swatch. Sometimes people a lot of times want to, I don't know what they want to judge themselves very hard. And it's like, no, it's not going to look great. It's your first time. It's like, I don't know where the idea that this was easy or simple came from. It takes a lot to learn.
Yeah.
It will get easier and you'll get better.
We have a lot of beginners that question when they're learning to sew. They'll be like, well, how do you make it go straight? And I'm like, well, you sew for 40 years. Right? It's the more you sew, the straighter you go. The more you crochet, the easier the way. Like, it's a thing. It's experience. And allowing ourselves the ability to make mistakes is only going to make you better when you don't make those mistakes again. Or when you go to make them and go, oh, that was wrong, I'll do it again. Like, it's the mistakes are learning periods, and there's no reason to hide them.
Yeah. But often I think what people look at as a mistake, you know, is it's a perception.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm just thinking of quilting and the I'm sure you guys are familiar with the quilts of G's Bend, and the women there, you know, sewed without instruction. They did it communally. They used absolutely any fabric that they had on hand. It didn't have to be 100% quilt cotton, blah, 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 blah. They used what they had, and they put it together in the way that they could. And those pieces are absolutely fabulous. We might look at it by today's standard and say, oh, well, the seams don't match, the points don't point, oh, blah, blah, whatever. But it doesn't detract at all. In fact, those quilts are phenomenally sought after. Because of the nature of it, they're each unique.
Right.
Exactly.
The one-of-a-kind aspect.
That point is made so obvious to me every single time someone makes a new beginner makes a pillow. I'm very like, okay, my color theme is black and red, so I'm choosing my colors. And oftentimes we get these new beginner sewists in, and they're pulling out strips out of our pillow strip basket to make their pillow. And I'm like thinking to myself in the back of my head, ooh, like, oh, really? But when they're done, that's not the point of what they did. They have completed an absolutely beautiful project that in the end somehow is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that, because it's the creating, it's the smile on their face, it's the pure joy knowing they accomplished something they came in to do that makes the pillow even more beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, they're going to put together colors that you would never have thought of. And that's, you know, one thing that I, when I'm teaching also, is to try not to impose my aesthetic on people.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I totally agree. And, you know, I find myself doing that quite a bit because I'm a mom.
I don't see that.
You can't wear that out of the house. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But I'm learning. I'm doing better.
She doesn't say those things.
I internalize.
She does not say those things.
I internalize quite a bit.
But sometimes we have like a mom that'll be like, please don't let her make the skirt too short. And we'll be like, okay, you have to talk to your mom about the hem of the skirt because we're not getting involved.
Right. We did.
It's like, I'm sorry. I don't want to be involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's something I never faced. Mediate between mother and a child.
Yeah, we tend to do that every once in a while. Not too much because you know, everything is beautiful when it's created with love and curiosity and imagination. So passion, exactly.
And, yeah, and sometimes when people do things wrong, what they do is they end up creating a whole new style or a whole new take on quilting or garments. And I have a theory that all of our pattern stitches that we use in knitting and crochet, that was a mistake at one point, and then somebody thought, oh,
yeah,
what if I do these holes, you know, in a pattern, you know?
Yeah, crochet, that seems so clear. It's like somebody had to have made this up by accident. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. We have one student that comes in and her ideas are just phenomenal. Like, I don't know how she's even thinking of them. Sailor. And half the time, the majority of the things that she's doing are brand new techniques that she's trying to make usable, wearable, in more not as trendy. I'm at loss for words. I can help here. Okay, go ahead.
It's that idea of not just making clothing, but making wearable art, which is why I love that. I mean, I started out being like, okay, so I like drawing clothes, and now I like making clothes, and maybe that's fashion. And then I was like, no, I like wearable art. No, maybe that's costume. And then it's like, oh, eventually you just realize, no, I'm an artist. I'm just like, and I love when people take clothing as a base and make art on top of it.
And that Sailor's doing that, but you do that with your earrings.
I do.
I
want to do more things like that.
That's art.
Julie's wearing my earrings.
Yes, you're wearing trolls.
I'm not wearing my earrings today because it's October and I wear my trolls in October.
One must.
Yes.
One must do that.
Yes.
You know, one of the things I'm looking forward to doing is taking some old quilts and making a tamarack jacket.
Mm.
So hopefully I'll get that done before spring.
It's squared.
I'll show you. I'm excited about that.
I actually have some old quilt, a old quilt that I cut apart to because it had just disintegrated in many places,
right?
And I did keep sections of it that are good. Maybe you can do something with it.
Of course, upcycling. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Thinking about your garments, your fibers in a different way, so it doesn't make it into the pile of trash. And I'm excited about the tamarack. I have an old bedspread that I'm going to use on mine.
She just
I have it right over in the corner. You want me to go grab it?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Do you know where those?
And here, Julie, do you want me to share pictures after or anything, or?
Well, go ahead, share some pictures because I'm a little slow. We talk about something and I get the picture like a minute or two later. But yeah, show us some stuff that you particularly like.
This
I have
is
to share.
me.
I have to share it. I didn't do it yet.
Okay.
Screen share.
Oh,
Wait, Chrome tab. Stitch Space.
So I have a lot of,
No, stop. You're doing
that's
it.
really, oh God, love that.
I have more of it, and I have more. So I have enough. We could cut them apart and use one as a center of a back.
What
you
about,
know, or
is that black or evergreen? The heavy color.
it's black. It's black, white, black, pumpkin color, and a green. This
You know,
is a very, very old quilt.
with
And,
some duck cloth, some black duck, making a beautiful lumberjack jacket, and putting some of those colors into the collar, but maybe a band in the front, band in the back, a border.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be stunning. That would be stunning.
Well,
Judy, I love that color combination. I love that design. I've never seen that one.
Yours?
I'll share with you.
Is it yours, Judy?
Oh, no, not my personal. I did not make this as a quilt. Along the way, I bought or was given these it was I don't know even what size, but it was so old and so worn. I only cut the pieces out that were not damaged.
Oh, it's stunning.
Yeah.
It's an oldie, all hand done.
Maybe
Yeah, Judy, yeah, Judy, I have your quilts. I should bring them up, and when I do, I'll pick that stuff up because I'm going to Sherman Oaks on Tuesday. So I want to drop into Stitch Space and hang out with you guys for a little while.
sounds good.
Mask up.
What?
Mask up.
Oh yeah.
So,
She has a mask that matches my shirt that she was wearing today.
I have to, yeah. I have to.
But this was from a donation that we got too.
Yes, this was this.
This is a Hawaiian shirt made out of.
Oh,
wow.
love it.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah, we love donations. But see, fabric isn't the only thing that we can create with scraps. Fabric things. Pom-poms.
Creatures.
My pom-pom minion. Where's my baby Yoda?
Did you bring over?
Oh, maybe I didn't bring him over.
You know, one of the things I absolutely love that you have done are those the pet portraits.
Oh, go get them.
Yeah, you can go get them. I can also see if I can find.
They're so unique, so fantastic. I just love them. Love them, love them.
Yes, it's fun to. That's another one that we did as a sip and stitch. Yeah, it's easier just to get the ones off the wall because we've been displaying some of them.
They're precious. They're so, yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah, there's Cole.
Yes, I recognize that pup on the right.
And Gizmo.
Yes,
Cole and Gizmo. This is Lady. Samantha was doing that one day just for fun.
Oh yeah,
Like she was just doing
I
it
was just
just to
sitting down.
practice her embroidery and enjoying it. And there was such a visceral response that I'm like, oh,
Guess we're doing pet
we're going to do
portraits.
pet portraits as a sip and stitch. And this is my
Yeah, tell it. You're showing. Could we see the ones, Julie, that they're showing?
Yeah. Here we go.
And can you tell us about how you go? You do that? How do people? Will you have those classes again, or how?
We'll probably have one in December. That sounds possible.
because they're fun to do for
gifts.
Fun to do for gifts.
And
First
yeah,
of all, come towards me.
and then how would someone come prepared to do that?
We ask you to bring a good photo of your pet. Then we print it out and we use that as part of the process to creating. Now you can see Samantha's is much more detailed with the hand stitching and the layering, but she's used a lot of stitching to create the face of Lady. Whereas this student used more of the felt.
Just in shapes and cutting.
Yeah, in shapes and cutting, so that and she's actually got buttons for the eyes, but this looks like her baby Dino. So we use the pictures that you bring and we print out, and then you kind of play for a minute and see, because some people are just more naturally a stitcher and some people are more a creator. So you can, there you go. There's Dino next to his photo.
Yeah.
So wow, what a great translation.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, we make sure that there are numerous amounts of materials here. You get the hoop and the fabric and then all of the materials to create. And sometimes people will start out maybe stitching more and it's not quite right. And then they end up just doing more of a three-dimensional look. Mm-hmm. It's a little, sometimes a sense of playing if you're not for sure, if you don't come in with an exact vision of what you want to do.
Amy's got stuffing in hers.
Yeah, I stuffed
Gage is
mine.
Three-dimensional. Okay, whoops. Gage is three-dimensional.
Because he's all white, and it was hard to distinguish with just the felt and even stitching, because Gage is seriously all white. So I felt with the dimension, it helped create him. So that's just another one of the things that when you're here and you're creating, you can decide after you get your materials together, and we help, and play. Mm-hmm.
So actually someone coming into that workshop with you doesn't have to have drawing skills or ability.
Oh, no, not at all.
That's the other thing with any of the specialty classes. It's no specific knowledge required, no sewing knowledge required. It's about the learning together thing.
We did, there's a wine carrier class that we did with 10 ladies. They had just finished production on a show.
In the before times.
In the before times, yes. Yeah. In the before times. Most of these are all in before times. And they came in and none of them knew how to sew. So we plied them with wine. And all of them.
I'm loving it already.
They every single one of them left with
a beautiful project.
Beautiful project.
Finished,
completed, and thrilled to death.
Yeah.
And none of them knew how to sew before they came in, and we used the machine. That's just get people on there. You can teach anything that you're passionate about. You know, it's just passionate and sharing that with other people. Mm-hmm. We do classes with young girls. There's some photos of the backpack birthday. Girl Scout. We had a Girl Scout troop come in. They made drawstring backpacks. None of them knew how to sew. So we get them all set up. We do basic instruction, and then they get to create. And we
customize too.
Customize.
Those kinds of projects always involve what do you want to applique onto your thing that represents you? We don't tell them everybody's going to look like this, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We let them choose the fabrics and the things they're going to represent.
So to the point, you do not have to have a skill or a specific knowledge of this technique when you come into some of our specialty classes and even to any of our other classes. I want you to have fun creating. So I'm going to walk you through everything you need.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, that's wonderful. That is so, you know what that is? That's empowering.
Yes, exactly.
That's what you guys do. You empower.
That's Devin's backpack.
That's a big process.
I've made that's a big one. A lot of the kids get to the point in their journey where they're ready to make a backpack, and I often hold off several of them until I know they're ready, because that's a big thing. These backpacks are big. And oh gosh, I missed that.
That was one of our favorite sip and stitches, I think. The decorating your ugly sweater, but we didn't call it that. We called it festive. We called it festive sweater decorating or something. To make it, because I got my Hanukkah unicorn, my what did I call it? Junicorn.
Yeah,
I had my junicorn.
Oh,
yeah,
junicorn. So adorable.
That was really, really fun.
So good.
That was a fabulous time.
Yeah.
And the pom-pom art, we have some students who are
passionate about pom-poms.
Passionate and prolific.
That one's Amy, though.
This one's mine, but Ainsley has made cats for everyone. So
look on her head. She's got like a Hello Kitty.
Yeah. That's,
Aw.
that's our sweet Ainsley. She's very unique.
We still see her every week.
Yep, we do. And that's Rex, and he made a hoodie.
We got Daisy.
There's
Arden
more
also
pom-pom.
long time. She made that hoodie and that pillow. This is
Arjun.
Arjun. Oh my gosh. This young man is incredible. His father is an animation artist and has created these 4 characters
Based on Indian
gods.
Yeah.
So this is Krishna, and he's come in and made all 4 of the gods in the animation series.
Wow.
He's creative and very technical
Yeah.
in his thinking. And so not only does Arjun come in and have ideas of things he wants to do, he's also happy to like just take the thread out of the serger and put it back in because he likes the way he understands the machine.
Yeah.
And that also being said, that's a good one to talk about, because after having a class with Arjun, another student got inspired and did a character of his own based on these designs that Arjun had come in with.
Yeah.
So they're like building off of each other's creativity, which is cool.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
This was a birthday party. We had a pom-pom birthday party. And they came in and created pom-poms, all the pom-poms they wanted to for the birthday party. This is Sasha. She's from
Sasha Project.
the Sasha Project, and she does her own hand painting on denim. She has cystic fibrosis, and the Sasha Project is they work a lot with Children's Hospital LA, and a lot of their proceeds go to the Children's Hospital LA.
Yes.
And she is a true joy
Yeah.
to have in class, as she's learned to sew her own, and then she's going to.
She just gets excited the more things she learns.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
It's exciting to see. Look at that. Look how excited she is.
I actually, seeing Julie scroll through your images there, I'm impressed with the numbers of young men and men that I see in these photos. I love that you're bringing in, and this is an inclusive space. It's not girls alone, and it's great.
We have a lot of it. I have been asked several times, "Oh, my son's interested. Do you do boys? Is that a thing?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, we can ask Karl Lagerfeld, Michael Kors, all of the designers. Majority of them are men. Yeah. Of course, there's Zane.
Wait, below I think was our new students, Kai and.
Is this Zane?
That's Zane.
He's pretty new to sewing, but he has been getting better and better every time.
Every time.
And more patient. That's the other thing that like people can learn through sewing is patience. And I learned it through crochet, and just the idea that I could make a mistake and take it out and not be so upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we've had a lot of
a lot of young men.
13 to like 21-year-old guys come in the last year.
That's my mommy.
That's Amy's mother. She made the Halloween wine carrier.
That's our wine carrier,
sample.
yeah. The drink carrier, because that's funny. It's ironic that my mom made a wine carrier, because I don't know that she's ever had a drink in her whole entire life. I'm like, here, Mom, make a wine carrier.
Oh,
hooray! Yeah,
he's an incredible person.
Incredible
and a great crocheter.
Yes, he does. He crochets.
An incredible crocheter.
He's the one that came in and helped Samantha do her.
I needed
corner
to
to corner.
Learn a corner to corner, and he had been working on it, and I was having trouble watching videos because it wasn't translating, and so he came in and worked with me.
Chloe is one of the students that has been learned patience and the journey. She's
below.
Yeah,
one below.
Her?
Yeah, her.
She's blossomed. That's Annette doing her little hand sewing project, because we do hand sewing also. Most of that is it's funny because most of our hand sewing, when we say hand sewing, we mean projects like that. And a lot of times people will sign up for hand sewing thinking I'm going to teach them how to hem, and I'm like, that's part of machine sewing process, sweetheart.
Yeah,
if you want to learn how to hem, you got to take a machine class and do a project that needs hemmed.
Yeah. Yeah, because our hand sewing is based off of embroidery or like plushy things with felt. so that you don't like necessarily have to bring something, because we'll use felt and we'll make something that teaches you some of those stitches.
Yeah.
Well, I just love the breadth of what you do. You know, you encompass so many techniques, so many different materials.
Mhm.
You know, you don't, you know what? You guys don't put limits on anything, nor do you have any, you don't have any speed, you know, bumps, or, you know, you don't slow people down. You just like, let them go. You turn them out. Let them go wild.
I slowed one person down the other day. Hopefully she'll come back.
What are you even talking about? The whole thing is
Brand
that
new beginner.
we're constantly telling people, like, it's like the analogy of how fast can I go on the sewing machine? And I'm like, as fast as you can control your steering.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't control your steering, then you can't go fast.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to do what you're doing and you go fast, then I guess you went too fast. Like, and that's what you learned.
Yeah. But she wanted to do a project that's beyond her skill level. And I said, oh.
Oh, yes. Sometimes people come in with expectations of being able to do things with stretch fabrics when they're not confident sewers in the non-stretch, which is way easier. So that's what Amy's talking about.
Yeah,
Like being like, well, maybe it's not quite time to do that project yet.
Let's wait.
Maybe.
I've never sewn before in my life, but I want to make my wedding dress.
Or like,
Yeah.
oh God.
Yes, we talk about that all the time.
Nobody has done that.
No one's done that.
I might have a heart attack.
And usually if people say that, I'm like, I'll make it for you.
I'm like, yes, you think that. You don't mean that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so.
That's exactly right.
Stretch
Oh,
fabric. I had a thing. You can
Yeah.
talk.
I don't want to
All
interrupt.
right.
It's too late, they're gone.
All right. God, it's so great visiting with you guys.
I remembered what I was
Oh my
gonna
gosh,
say.
it's 2:00. Have I been babbling on for an hour?
No, not at all.
Don't look at me. We haven't been battling.
No,
They do
not
that.
at all. No, it's been delightful conversation. We do just like to end it at about an hour. We could go on.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, we could. But we do want to thank you both for being such wonderful guests and for sharing what you do with not just us, but with hopefully, you know, our viewers out there. And I hope that people are going to be encouraged to come to your space because you are really, you're amazing and unique and welcoming and fun and creative. And should I go on?
Thank you.
No, we got it.
Your support means a lot to us. Thank you.
You know, and this is a great resource in the community. You know, when I've been in there, it's been so nice to see all the children coming in. But I mean, and I've seen people of all ages, all genders, and it's so great that there are people teaching all these things, and especially there's so many people who want to learn them. So
Yes.
yeah,
That's exactly right.
So tell your friends that if they have these inclinations, we'll help them become makers of however they want.
I love that. And
Come play with us.
Play with us.
you know what I want to have I loved when you guys had all your makers, your vendors, you know, when people came.
Marketplace.
Please, that was so fantastic.
So we miss it so much.
That was a really exciting thing we got to do. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal is that we should be able to integrate sort of an online experience like that. Obviously not the same, but like we would like to have the artists that we've been, you know, sharing with.
Right.
Maybe share their sites to ours and have some sort of makers portal where
That would be wonderful. What a great idea.
and then they share us and we share them, and people can shop handmade through our site as well. So that's in the process.
yeah.
Well,
Long
with holidays coming up, ladies,
exactly.
that could be, you know, people are not going to be perhaps able to go out to shop, but having a portal and being able to do it remotely would benefit you guys and the makers themselves. and the people who buy them will be supporting a crafts person.
Exactly.
And, you know, it's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
We're hoping it will, and that's gonna hopefully be soon that we'll have that finished and completed and share all of our wonderful network of makers that we love dearly, that we can help support them.
And after COVID is over, we got to have everyone back in.
We will.
In the dark. Yes.
Big party. Stitch Space.
Okay, so sadly, it's time to end, and we need to ask our viewers to hit the like button and subscribe, sign up for notifications because we don't always do this at the same time, and leave comments below the video on YouTube. Let us hear from you, and thanks again, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. You're you guys are precious.
All right. Thank you. Bye.